So welcome back if you're coming back, and welcome if it's your first time. Don't we have just at least 5 minutes? I mean, is 5 minutes too much? You might ask, for what? Let me tell you for what. For thanking the Almighty, the Most High, God, the owner and creator of the whole world and universe. For those who don't want to believe in the existence of the Most High, while I can understand that this thought might feel intimidating to you, you might not even want to listen to the rest of what we might be trying to tell you, and that's totally okay. Sorry. No one should be forced to think otherwise of what they want to believe or not want to believe. Either way, everyone's opinion belongs to them, and everyone is right according to their opinion, because there is something that you have grown up with. And just like a baby who doesn't want to have their hair cut or nails trimmed because they feel some part of themselves is going to be lost, that is the same way you might feel threatened with the kind of belief that you have. You feel like a part of you is being violated, and if you will be something, as if you will be something less. I mean, for the ones who don't want to believe in the existence of God. And that is perfectly okay. You shouldn't be forced to do what you don't want to do. Because if you were forced in any way, it just might create more confusion and destruction to your character and psychology. And God has given you free will to choose for yourself. So what we are about to say should not be considered as if it is that which we want to force any kind of thought onto you. But it is only suggestions for you to mindstorm on your own or with the help of someone else. You are not obliged to accept anything without your will. God gave you a will to choose for yourself, and accordingly you get the result with what you choose. So having said that, because we don't want anyone getting offended for no reason just because they thought differently, let's dive into the 5 minutes. It struck to me that we find it so exciting to do any worldly thing, and we have fun, even if it takes hours. And we don't have any of the devilish whispers telling us to stop what we are doing and go and do something else that is of the way of God when we are doing anything to do with the world. But when it comes to anything to do with the way of God, I mean anything to do with God, we are so reluctant. I mean, you see this point of view, right? And it happens to all of us, and even you. Remember the parties, the events, the get-togethers that don't have almost anything to do with God. Of course, there are some get-togethers that have something to do with God, but we are in such times, or rather, let me be precise and say we are at end times. Even anything to do with God is not really being used for the intention, for the sake of God. There is always a certain under-intention connected to worldly wants and desires. During these worldly activities, we could go on for hours, and even when we get tired, we could still go on because we are having fun. However, when it comes to anything to do with the sake of God, what happens? Yeah, we start feeling tired, we frown, we feel like it's taking a toll on us, and as if it's taking too long, and yet it might be taking only 5 minutes. Can you imagine that? 5 minutes, and look at us. Why can't we seem to focus and hold on a little bit more? We want to rush and get over with it as quickly as possible and be done with it so that we could go back to our worldly pleasures that are in actual fact temporary, and and here we are running away from that which is everlasting. Because when you do anything to do with the intention of for the sake of God, it is something you will be rewarded for, both in this world and the coming world. Some people are like, Yes, there is heaven on earth, right? But some are overlooking the fact that it is connected to the way of God, the Most High. It is not separate. We are living in this world that God created. We are breathing the air He created. We are using all the blessings He created and provided to us. Yes, He provided to us because if He did not will to give to you, it might have been a test, or it would have been something you were not given, because you might have some karmic something that needed clearing for you to get. And the karma might have come not even from you, but from someone connected to you, like an ancestor. And that's a whole another topic altogether. I mean, the Most High has given all these blessings, and we don't have even 5 minutes to show gratitude, or find it so burdening to just murmur a few words of prayer to be thankful of our blessings. I mean, you give your time or something to someone. I'm not saying you should expect any return of any kind of favor in any way, in which the Most High has no need whatsoever of our thanks and gratitude. Imagine you do something favorable, and that person behaves like they are trying very hard to avoid you as much as possible, or they feel like you are a hindrance, and as if they would be wasting their time with you just if they were to be talking to you, or to show gratitude towards you in any way. Because that is what prayers are. It's a conversation you have with the Most High. And that is the least He asks of His creations, for them to reflect and remember Him. And on top of that, even imagine that He also rewards you for remembering Him too. But we as humans, we decide we know better than the Creator, and we think even after using all that we are given, we can just decide to overlook the Creator and go on our lives as if He never existed. For those who want to have scientific belief on how we were created, don't they reflect on how was the universe and everything inside was really created? Talking of the Big Bang theory, where everything just seems to appear and then form compositions that lead to the existence of living beings on Earth and other dimensions, the first particle, where did it actually appear from before existence? Isn't it logical to realize that there is a creator for that initial particle? It's not like I'm debating against you, but just think about it. And God, the Most High, created all these blessings, and He is not asking much from us. And He has given us the freedom of thought and action to choose how we want to live. But as long as we don't mess around and spoil the balance that the universe and what is in it has been created for, we can get what we want. We are meant to enjoy everything, but everything has a balance. And we need to balance the worldly with the spiritual ways. He gives us oxygen to breathe, and we breathe without thought of how the perfect body He created is functioning. No one stops to question this when they breathe. And nobody starts, this is the simplest example we can give at the moment, because nobody sits to think of how you're taking in the oxygen. Okay, scientifically it has been shown how it is. You take in oxygen and you give out carbon dioxide, but who sits back to think of the detailed way of how you are breathing and how you are exhaling? No one. Just imagine if He were to take that away from us, would we remember Him then? And yes, there are people who have been tested this way, and some remember and go back to God, and some don't, still remaining stubborn in disbelief. Everything happens according to His will. Can we forget about breathing for even 5 minutes, just as how we want to forget His existence? Or we don't want to be disturbed from our worldly affairs by remembering Him? Just 5 minutes. Try that, just 5 minutes. Don't breathe. See where it gets you. I told that to someone when they thought they didn't have to pray. I told them that if they don't find praying to God is necessary, then they should also forget about breathing, because God gave that. Because the least God asks from his creations is just remembrance and reflection of him and what has been bestowed on us. And 5 minutes is too much? Does anyone know when they would die? I mean, do you? Do you know where you would go to? All right, we know there is 5D, which we visit every night when we sleep as the simplest way. But who created the 5D? And who? And there are other dimensions too, and other beings we can't see with naked eyes. Okay, there are some people who can see those other beings, but most of us don't. Who created all that? And we find it hard to be thankful for just 5 minutes. Can you imagine you go to sleep and never wake up? Do you have a guarantee that you would wake up? No. So wouldn't it be amazing to be grateful every time we wake up and thank God for allowing us another day for adventure? The food you eat, we could have been like zombies and be like animals and don't know how to cook. I'm thankful I learned how to cook while before I didn't know in my 20s. And I can't forget that one night I almost went hungry because I didn't know how to cook and I just wanted one bread, that's all. But God gave me more than that within seconds after I thought I had no way out and I was all alone. I must admit that even when times there seemed to be scarcity of some things, I still never felt deprived or impoverished. I'm thankful and grateful for that. Because God is so amazing. He always makes you feel abundant and He always provides you. And I'm thankful and grateful for that. So is 5 minutes so hard to be grateful for all the blessing? If you can't give 5 minutes to the Creator, then you might just as well give up on all blessings, starting with your body and all its parts. Even your voice, imagine if you didn't have one and you were dumb. Actually, those who can't hear do have a voice, but because they can't hear the voice they have, they don't know how to use their voice. So if you were that way, I'm not saying it is so bad to be dumb, but for the general collective, we can hear, What if that was taken from you? And other examples too, but we are guided to stop here right now. And I hope that helps you understand the connection of being grateful to God by praying. Praying is just one of the ways we show gratitude and acknowledge His existence. And by doing good deeds is also a way of gratitude. There are so many ways, and we could find ways to do that just if we allow ourselves to be considerate over that. And it's up to you to do that. You have a choice. God gave you the body vessel to experience the world in 3D and created everyone and everything in the most perfect way ever. And everything is just working out automatically and nobody stops to start thinking of all the mechanisms. I pray to God that we all lead our lives mindfully and that we are always guided to do the right things. Amen. So till next time, have a great day with much love. Take care and God bless.